Hey folks, uh, hello, welcome back. So we're back to my channel, and today we're going to be learning about carbohydrates. So our topic is carbohydrates. We'll try to discuss the carbohydrates, and we'll try to discuss what monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides are, with their properties, their examples, and I'll try to discuss like more about them so that you'll have extra knowledge. Okay, so let's move on with the first one. Define carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are basically the polyhydroxyl aldehydes and ketones, or the substances which yield such compounds on hydrolysis. Sugars or saccharides are like more familiar carbs and they have a sweet taste. So basically they're just hydrates of carbon. Like that's how they were known back then. But then the definition of them changed because they found that the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen was like different than the ratio in water. So they're not basically carb the hydrates of carbon anymore. Let's see the composition and the characteristics. So carbohydrates contains either ketones or aldehyde functional groups, and which are attached to one of the carbon atoms, and they also contain one or more hydroxyl groups. And these are the most abundant. They're the most abundant biological molecules. The organic compounds are basically composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and they were basically known as the hydrates of carbon. And because most of them have hydrogen and oxygen present in the same ratio as in water. So many have been discovered to have different proportions, and the examples of glucose, sucrose, starch, cellulose. Classification is it's based on the number of saccharide units. And we've got the monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. That's how we classify them. That's how we put them in groups. So I'm gonna show you some images. Uh, that way you'll be able to differentiate among the monosaccharides, polysaccharides, and oligosaccharides. So in this image, the green image shows the monosaccharides: glucose, galactose, and fructose. You can see they're just one unit, like one hexagonal unit, second hexagonal unit, third hexagonal unit. They're not bonded together in any way. While when you look at the second image, that's a white one, you can see lactose, glucose, beta 1 for glucose. Okay, and then maltose, glucose alpha 1 for glucose. The sucrose, glucose alpha 1 to fructose. And we've got cellulose, glucose beta 1 for glucose. And we've got isomaltose, glucose alpha 1 6 glucose. And they're all, like there are two monosaccharides. I am going to draw it for you. I'm gonna highlight it. Sorry. Okay, so this is one unit, and I'm gonna show you the other one. Okay, so this is another unit. Two hexagons. There are separate units, but they are like joined together, or we can say they are attached to each other through a linkage or bond that you can see in here. That's a glycosidic linkage. Okay, and these, on the other hand, these are separate units. They are not joined together. So they are monosaccharides. They are one unit. Well, they are these, and these, and these, and these. They are joined units. They're made up of two saccharides. That's why they are oligosaccharides. Okay. So in the next diagram, or in the next image, I'm going to show you polysaccharides, which have more than two units, or more than 3 units. I'll just erase it. Okay, so polysaccharides. Okay, the polysaccharides, you can see there are like many glycosidic bonds. In the starch molecule that you can see in the first one, there are like one, two, three glycosidic bonds. In glycogen, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 glycosidic linkages or bonds. In the cellulose, there are 3, and in the chitin, there are like 1, 2, 3, 3 glycosidic bonds. So basically, it's just the linkage between the units, linkage between the saccharide units. Now let's move on to the properties of the saccharides, the monosaccharides, okay? So monosaccharides are basically true carbons, and they are polyhydroxy ketones or aldehydes, and they taste sweet, and they easily dissolve in water and cannot hydrolyze into simpler sugars. And the number of carbon atoms they have is basically 3 to 7, and their names always end in O's, like glucose, fructose, galactose, and many others. And all the carbon atoms except one has OH. Remaining carbon atom is the part of aldehyde or ketone. The general formula would be CnH2nON, and N is the number of carbon atoms. So let me give you an example. So if we had like we had the carbon atom, we got like 3 carbon atoms, for example, then C, N will be 3, 2N will be 6, H2N will be like 6, because 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, and ON will be 3, right? That's how we make it. This is, I just basically made a carbohydrate using the general formula. Then we can go to the monosaccharides. And how do we classify the monosaccharides? Okay, here is that. Yeah. So monosaccharides have the functional group on the basis of functional group and on the basis of number of carbon atoms. And they contain aldehydes, aldoses. The ones containing aldehydes are called aldoses, and the ones containing ketones are ketoses. Sorry for the background noises. And there are 5 groups, like 3 carbon would be tri, and the 4th carbon would be like trioses. 5 carbon means pentoses, 6 means hexoses, and 7 means heptoses. Lesser aldehydes, 3 carbon simplest triose with aldehyde, okay? And the ribose, pentose, ribose is a pentose, you might be familiar with the ribonucleic acid. So it's got a ribose sugar in it, right? And we've got the ADP molecule, adenine, adenosine triphosphate. It's also got the ribose in it. And if we just replace the aldehyde group with the ketonic form, then it will be ribulose. And there are glucose, fructose, galactose, which are hexoses, and they've got same empirical formula while different structural formula, and that's how we say there are isomers. Glucoses have aldehydes, fructose has ketone, and glucose fructoses which are also known as galactose. They all are just isomers, and they are interconvertible to each other. Okay, so that's where we stop, and we're going to be learning about glucose and the nature of monosaccharides in the next video. So thank you so much for listening to me. Bye.